Hello, everyone. This is Martin. This is me right here. And I want to welcome you to another weekly video update on all the trading opportunities I'm looking for. And for this week, we're looking at the opportunities December 4th to the 8th. That's Monday to Friday. And the theme for this week is News Moves the Markets. Now, why is this good? Well, first of all, when we talk about news, we talk about the economic news that comes out for the different individual currencies, and this has a huge impact. If the news is often good, then that moves the that moves the interest rate levels. If the news is bad, that could impact on the interest rate levels. So there this week we've got three big news events to keep your eye on, and one is the Australian interest rate decision, which is comes out Monday evening. That's Eastern Standard Time here in the Toronto area, or the New York zone for those people outside of North America. Okay, so Toronto is in the same time zone as New York City. So in the evening, we have the Australian interest rate decision. And then on Wednesday, we have the interest rate decision for the Canadian dollar. That's Wednesday morning. And on Friday, we have the ever exciting non-farm payroll news for the USD. So those are three big events. That's Friday morning. Three big events this week to keep your eye on. And why is this good? Well, the reason is when news comes out, especially big news events, that often presents a lot of volatile price action, where price can actually go up and down by quite a bit, quite a number of pips. It often moves the markets and gives us good trading opportunities. Okay, so we're going to get right to the disclaimer. Okay, here's the risk disclaimer. This is really important. If you ever want to get more information on what I mean by about a risk disclaimer, just pause the video and read this, okay? But basically, the information I give you in this video is for educational purposes, okay? I do provide some very specific details about price levels and where price may be going, and even giving you some entry ideas. But these entry ideas are what I'm looking for. I'm not advocating anything for you. Always trade with proper risk management, and always view this video at your own risk. Okay? Okay, here we are. We're going to start with the Euro USD daily chart. All the charts we're looking at are the daily charts, and that means each candle that you see is 1 day's worth of movement. Okay, now this is what happened last week. You see this red vertical line here? Okay, this red dash vertical line. This is the trading activity for last week. So we have last Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday trading, 5 days of trading here using these charts. And you can see that price, we are in a bullish market. Price came down, so this is a pullback. Then price on Thursday bounced higher, okay, bounced much higher and sits just above the support level here. So I expect price to go higher. If you think of looking for a buy, trade opportunity, then look for buys above 119.63. Okay, so my bias is to the upside above 119.63. Now, the next one, let me just take that off. The next one is the British pound USD. Okay, take a look here. Now, this was the big winner last week. I mean, look at this pair. It went from here on the Monday all the way up here, okay? And it looks like it's going to retest this resistance area here. Take a look to your left, everyone. This is major resistance here where price went up, came down, did not break this here, and that goes back to about the middle of September of this year. So right now, after a big, huge move up, price is now pulled back. This is a one candle pullback. You can wait for the pullback to end. It may come down a little bit lower, to come down to the 8 here, but if it stays above the 8 EMA, this is the 8 EMA, watch for a bounce higher, okay? Watch for a bounce higher and look for buys above 135.55. Okay? So that is the British pound USD. Now we come to the Australian USD. Remember, there's an interest rate decision on Monday evening, and I don't think they're going to change the interest rates. I think things are going to stay the same as they are right now. But it certainly can move the markets one way or another. So if interest rates stay the same, price may still go higher. Uh, and I'd be looking at buys above 0.7633. Okay, so we are in a bearish market. Keep in mind, we are generally in a bearish market. This was a pullback right there. The trend continued to the downside because we are an overall downtrend pattern. But again, this is just a bit of a pullback. And again, price may go just a little bit higher. So again, that's an aggressive buy above 0.7633 for the short term. Okay, that's a short term counter trend move higher. Now we move to gold. And we normally look at gold because gold is tied into the Australian dollar. You can see gold. Now, this is interesting, this pattern here. You see how it's like a widening funnel? Okay, take a look at that. You see how price is getting um, wider within this funnel here. So there's more volatility to gold, and sooner or later, gold is either going to come down, break down below here, or break higher. Okay, right now, price is bounced off of the support. Okay, and that's important. So I believe price could go higher. Again, it's just kind of bouncing back and forth between the upper and lower trend line. So again, right now I don't have a real trading opportunity. Just wait for further evidence, but you certainly could look at buys above this area right there. Okay, now that is gold, and let's move to the next currency, New Zealand USD. Again, as the likewise with the Australian dollar, we had been in a kind of a major downtrending pattern. Again, now we're in a pullback phase. Okay, pullback phase. We had a big bounce up with this candle here on Friday. You can see a big Friday bullish engulfing candle. So in the short term, price could go a little bit higher and then come bounce right back down. I've drawn in the upper and lower trend line. Now, if you think price is going to go higher and break the trend line, look for buys above 0.6932. And if you think price is going to come lower, you're going to have to wait till price breaks this swing low here, and even this swing low. See, this is a lower low here, so I'm basically saying err on the side of caution and look for sells below 0.6778. Okay. Now the next pair is the US CAD, and what do you see there? What do you see on your chart for this daily chart? Well, how about this huge bearish candle? Okay, that tells me a couple of things. One, after a huge move down like that, we usually have a pullback. Okay, so that's a huge move. I think it was over 200 pips. I think it was. Anyways, we normally have a bounce up higher, but then price can break lower. Um, and this is based on the better than expected news last week for the Canadian dollar. News, I think it was related to the employment sector. And anyways, if you're looking for sells, look for sells below 126.66. I don't have a recommendation for a buy here. I'm actually thinking that price is either going to bounce up and down between this channel. Note that this is a long-term sideways channel. Okay, so but I'm either looking for a break to the downside or a price to go back higher again. Okay. Now we move to the next pair. That's oil, and I normally talk about oil because oil is often responsible for how the Canadian dollar moves as well. Canadian dollar is tied into oil. So here we had a big bounce higher off of the support. We basically are in a uptrend. You can see again, uptrend, okay, um, pull back, and again, a possible bounce higher to retest a previous high here. So this is a bounce higher trend continuation. That's what I'm looking for. And you can either take a buy now and again watch the retest of this area here. Okay. So that is oil, and let's move to the next one, the U.S. Swiss franc. Again, in response to last Friday, big, huge bearish candle. But notice it sits at, again, a major support area. Take a look all the way to the left here. Okay, to the left here. So again, price most likely will bounce higher. However, price may at some point break lower. If it breaks lower, look for sells below 0.97 18. Okay, so my bias is really to the downside. Let's take that off the charts. Let's move right along to US JPY. Okay, again, we are in an overall bearish market. This is a pullback phase. It's a really deep pullback, but then we had a bounce lower on Friday. And so right now, price is stuck between the 50. You can see this is the 50. Here is the 200. So price is basically stuck in between here. We have to wait for more evidence, okay? And if you think price is going to go higher, well, you could look at buys above 112.83. If you think price is going to break lower, below the 200, watch for the 200 to see if that holds as support. But if it breaks lower, look for sells below 111.63. Okay, now we move to euro. British pound, euro. The British pound is really strong as it gets closer to the Brexit talks, and the British economy is doing fairly good. Brexit talks seems like they may go swimmingly well. And the euro has just become weaker against the British pound over the last little while. Although, again, take a look. See this gray rectangle here, gray rectangle here. This is This is support right here, resistance right here. And so again, price really is just making some big, huge up and down swings. Okay, and from here again, price may, well, you can see on Friday we had a bullish candle, right? So price may start going higher again, but again, you want to look at this area here. See this right there? That's the 50. You want to see if that holds as resistance in this area. Price may come up here and then bounce lower. Again, I think my bias is to the downside, but if you're looking at to taking a sell trade, you can look at possible trades below 0.8768. Now we move to what's after that, the Euro GP, Euro JPY. So Europe Japanese yen. Okay, same thing. Take a look. Big, huge, long-term resistance. Okay, resistance, swing high, swing high. Didn't quite get there. Didn't quite get there, but this time it could go up a little bit higher. Anyways, again, we are stuck between the upper and lower. It's a sideways channel, basically, just prices going up and down, up and down. And again, we could be looking at a bounce lower. Again, if it comes down lower, you watch the 50 SMA here to see if that holds as support. If price breaks through, then you could be looking at sells below 132.48. But if price breaks higher, look for buys above 134.54. Okay, and that's that. Now the next pair is the Euro Audi, Australian dollar has been a bit weak. The euro stronger against in this currency pair. So we've been in an uptrending pattern, uptrending market. We had a big pullback on Friday. Again, depends on what could happen next. But if we think price is going to go higher, look for buys above 157.34. Okay. And if we think price is going to come lower, again, look at the 8 this time. Look at the 8 EMA to see if that holds. If it doesn't hold and price breaks lower, then you want to take a sell or look at sell trades below. See that swing low right there? Okay, again, I'll draw that. There's a swing low. So sells below 155.66. Okay. And now I think we've got one more pair, and that is let me just switch the chart there. Okay, the British pound, Japanese yen. Okay, again, you see a huge move. The British pound was the big winner last week. Big move up. We had one bearish candle on a Friday, so price could come lower. Okay, because if price could come lower, just bear in mind that as price moves to the right, the 8 EMA right now, which is above the 50, the 8 EMA is, going to curve up like that. So price could still come lower and then bounce higher to retest. Take a look at my mouse at the left here to retest the previous swing high of mid-September, and it could just come up and then bounce right back down again. But if it breaks higher, you could look at buys above possible 152.85, or if price breaks higher, the conservative thing is just to wait to see if price breaks above 153, because there could be a false breakout. In other words, price could go higher but then come right back down again. Okay, so that is what I see for the markets this week. Like I said, three big trade events. Interest rate news for the Australian dollar, the Canadian dollar, and the non-farm payroll on Friday, which always moves the markets. And when the markets moved, that presents some really good trading opportunities for you. So, with that said, take care, everyone. Um, if you're interested in any more information, then you can contact me. I've got some terrific courses available to help you. Please contact me. My name is Martin at mskyj007 at gmail.com. Nothing fancy about that. Just send me an email. I can help you one way or another. Take care, everyone. Happy trading.